Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer, and today I'm gamesplaining the Gallerist. If you've watched the first video, you'll have a feel for how we manipulate the board. I'm going to go into what to do at each action space so that you can really get a grasp for this game. I'll start at the artist colony. At the artist colony, you have two options. You either purchase some art or you discover an artist. At the moment, at the very beginning of the game, there's only one artist who is available to purchase. So if I wish to purchase art, I will look at that artist. His white counter is on the number 4, so it would cost me 4 money to purchase a piece of art from that artist. The piece of art is the first one on top of the pile. You'll notice there are some meeples. Some of them only have 1, some have 2. That's in accordance with how many little tickets there are. Those meeples go into the plaza so that they can be moved into galleries later. You will also get 2 tickets, your choice. It doesn't matter which, but they need to be of different colour. So he'll just grab those 2. And the artist's fame will go up by 1 plus the number of the white meeples you have in your gallery. So at the moment there's no meeples in the gallery, so he just goes up the 1. If that guy was already in the gallery, then he would go up the 2. The next thing you do is you take the little token that's next to the artist. You will add that down the bottom according to where on his card this block is. So this block is actually showing 2 stars, so it goes straight up to the 2 stars. So straight away, this piece of art, which I now put in my gallery as well, which I purchased for 4 money, is already worth 8 money because his fame's gone up from the sale. The other thing you can do while you're at the artist colony, so obviously you're choosing one of these 2 things to do each time. The other thing you can do is discover an artist. When you discover an artist, all you're doing is say, I want to discover this one. You will take you will action the bonus according to what the icon on this little card is. So in this case, I would take 2 money for any brown visitors and 1 money for any white visitors. So I would take 1 money for the current state of play and then discard that token. This then gets turned over. The white marker goes onto his starting position, which is a 5, and I take his signature. Now that signature goes down to the bottom. I'm only allowed to have 1 artist signature at the bottom of my board at any one time. This is known as taking a commission. So what I've basically said is I'm commissioning that artist to create a piece of art for me. Now I don't have to purchase that straight away. He will create that and that will sit there. At a later stage, when I come back around, say this artist has upped his fame, so his art is quite valuable, I can now purchase this piece of art for the starting price, which would be 5 money. 5 money, I've now purchased that art, but that art is already worth 14 money, and it's about to be worth 17 money if I keep pushing him up. Once again, I take the piece of art. It's worth no starting stars, so we don't get to push up the artist's fame straight away, but it will be plus each of the things, so that will actually push that up to the double stars, which pushes his piece of art value up. I would get 1 pink ticket. That meeple will go into the pile in the middle, and that art then gets added to my gallery. Now moving around the board, I'll come down to the bottom, to the media center. The 2 options we have at the media center are to either promote an artist or hire assistants. So I'll do promoting an artist first. What that looks like is having a look at your board to see which artists you actually have you have art from. Now you are allowed to promote any artist you wish, but there's not as much value in promoting artists that you haven't invested in. So say I wanted to promote the camera guy. The photographer is currently sitting on 1 as his popularity level. So what I will do is I would grab the number 2, place that on his card to show that he's up to a 2 popularity. I then spend 2 from my fame track to move that down. I then take popularity according to what's in my gallery. So it would be 2 if I had a pink in here, plus 1 for the white. So if that's what my gallery looks like, I would get 3 popularity. 1, 2, 3, pushing me back up the board. That artist then gets 1 bump plus another 1 for each white guy that's in my gallery. So in this case, he's going to push forward 2 spots. If that were to push him across one of the star markers, that would then up the value of his art for anyone who held that art. So you could be actually pushing up the value of art for another player as well whenever you do those actions. You are only able to promote an artist by one level at a time. You can't jump over level. If an artist's fame is promoted to 19, that makes he's at the top of his line. If he gets promoted above the 19 space, this marker will then get added over to the top there, showing that he is now at celebrity status. The person who did it will get 5 money for doing that. And if you have one of his works of art in your gallery, then you're able to use the 4th space because his art is now a masterpiece, because he is now a celebrity. The other action that you're able to do at the media center is to hire workers. Now, you're allowed to hire as many workers as you like. This is your line of people waiting for work. So the first guy will cost you 1 money to hire him. When you hire him, put him over to the table. The only limit to your ability to hire workers is how much space there is at the tables, at the desks in the office. So if I've got 3 workers there, I can actually only hire 1 more, which will cost me 2 money. So I spend the 2 money. There's also a bonus that I will get a brown ticket for moving him across. And these workers are then able to be used to follow. So if my artist then leaves there, I want to leave a worker there, I will toddle off to the next spot. If he gets kicked out, I get to do those actions. Again, I was talking about that in the first video. He then gets returned to his desk. If, while he's out there, I've hired another worker, all 4 of these desks are full, he gets kicked out, he has no desk to go to, so he toddles off out of the game and you can't get him back. The third space to deal with is the media center. There are 2 actions in the media center. You have reputation, which is the top 4 spaces. You have the international auction, which is the bottom 3 spaces. These work in very similar ways. So I'll talk about the top actions first. To start with, in order to take any of the actions, you need to have the appropriate meeples in your foyer. So at the moment, Orange has 1 brown guy in his foyer, which means he can use these actions on the left-hand column. In order to use the actions on the right-hand column, he would need to have both a white and an any color meeple in his foyer. If you're playing more than a 2-player game, then the middle action is also available. And in order to use the middle line of actions, you would actually need to have 1 brown and 1 pink meeple in your foyer. So having 3 there basically enables you to be able to do any of the three choices. The other thing you've got to watch out for in the top part is that one of the types of work of art, as listed down the left hand, has either been in your gallery or been sold from your gallery. I'll get to selling things later. So at the moment, I've got a statue and a photo in my gallery, which means I'm only able to take one of these middle 2. With only having a pink guy in my foyer, I can only use the left-hand column and one of these 2. So when I do that, say I take this one, I would put one of my workers there to show that that has happened. I will gain 3 prestige because that marking at the top, and this tile will then go into the bottom left corner of my board. It could be any of the 6 spaces. I get the bonus when I cover it up, so say I cover that up, that allows me to grab one of the visitors from the plaza and bring them into my gallery any color I like. So I might go, bam, get a brown guy into my gallery. Now what this tile does is it gives me bonus money at the end. So for every, and what that tile does is gives me bonus money at the end of the game. For this one, I'll get 4 money for every set of the 3 different colors of meeples that are in my gallery at the end. So suddenly I've got something to work towards. At the end of the game, the player with the most meeples in any column will get 6 money, second most will get 3 money, and third most will get 1 money. You have to have meeples in the column to actually get the money, and that's a different level for each, with these ones being the most valuable, even though you only get 1 fame for using that line. Now coming down to the bottom half, this is the auction. If I choose to do the auction, I've got to fulfill the same meeples in the foyer criteria as the top half of the tableau over there. But in this case, what I'll do, I'll send a worker and I'll say maybe go here. It will cost me 1 money. If I don't have that money, I could just shift myself down on the fame track. I was talking about that in the other video. I get the bonus that I've just covered up. So in this case, it's one of the tickets of any color. So I might take another white one. And what that now means is that I have bid 1 money. I've already spent the money. I don't get that money back, but I have bid 1 money in the auction for this piece of art that happens at the end of the game. So whoever has the most money over in that section, or has bid the most amount in that section, will have first dibs on grabbing a piece of art. So if it's a 3 or 4 player game, you'll actually have 2 or 3 works of art. So the highest bidder will get the first choice over which piece of art they get to take. And that can be very valuable for fulfilling these cards. And moving up to the top space, we go to the sales office. This is where you will sell your art. There are 2 things you can do here. You can either grab a contract or you can sell some art. So let's start with contracts first. In order to sell art, you must have a contract and you must have the piece of art that fulfills that contract. So I can select one of these contracts and I place that on my player board. If this is the first contract going on a space, I get the ticket that's underneath there. So for that one, I'll get a brown ticket. I now have a contract for a piece of art. As one of the executive actions, I could have used an executive action at some point later to do that, and that allows me to grab another contract without having to go to that space. So I might grab that one, throw that there. I'll also get the pink ticket. The other thing I could do instead of taking a contract, or before I take a contract, is I could deal out 4 more of these cards over the top of the cards already available. I would do that if I didn't like the look of the cards that are currently there. So if I wish to sell a work of art, I have the contract. It doesn't matter if I have actioned the bonus or not. I can still sell the work of art. It just means I won't get the chance to use the bonus later on. I can sell that statue. It's currently sitting on 3 stars because that's where the artist's fame is. The 3 stars is worth 11 money. So I would gain 11 money. That art just goes to the side to show that I've sold it. The signature gets returned to the artist so that their next piece of art is available. There are only 2 pieces of art available from each artist at any one time. So if both pieces of art have gone out or been purchased by various players, even by the same player, then no one else can purchase their art until it's sold. The next thing we do, if you have used the bonus, that meeple goes back to the desk. If there's no desk spot available, he gets thrown out of the game. This card gets flipped over. Now, there are 2 options on the back of the card. The money option or the fame option. What this looks like is, you're going to throw one of the meeples out of your gallery. Well, you're not actually throwing him out. He's just purchased some art and is leaving. So I've only got a white and a brown in here at the moment, so I have to get rid of the brown guy. He goes back to the plaza. Because I got rid of the brown guy, this card then goes back on my board, brown side up. In a future executive action, I can action the top of that card, or the bonus on the back of that card now, and that is to get paid again for the number of white and brown guys I've got in my gallery. So I'd get 1 money if I did that right now. If I had a pink guy in my gallery like this, I could throw the pink guy out, or the pink guy was the one that bought it. That card then goes up that way, and as an executive action, I can take the fame for the types of visitors that are in my gallery. I think that I've worked my way all the way around the board, just in terms of the final scoring. Where you are on this line is very important. So at the moment, the orange player is going to get 3 money, the blue player is going to get 2. You really want to have your guys, by the end of the game, up in this kind of space because it's worth some really big money for being up there. Some of the end game scoring bonuses not only give you money for things that you've done through the game, but also give you that fame reputation, so that will actually push you further up that track. Unfortunately, once you are at the top of that track, you can't go any further, so any extra fame that you've got is lost. So I'll leave that there and go on to the Gamesplayed video to get a real good feel for how this game plays. I hope this helps you get the Gallerist to the table. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write them below. If you have any games that you wish to be Gamesplaned, please shoot me an email at thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at thegamesplainer to see what games I've been playing. Check out my blog, thegamesplainer.wordpress.com, to have a read about my adventures in gaming each week. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining, and until next time, enjoy gaming.